On September 11, 2001, which was a Tuesday, America experienced a day that felt like doomsday. The world was shaken by the horrifying events that unfolded that day. The attack on the World Trade Center was not only a tragedy but also a historical moment that left a lasting impact. It resulted in the largest loss of life due to a foreign attack on American soil. Let's explore 9 key facts about this devastating attack. According to the 9/11 Commission report, the hijackers of American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175 forced their way into the cockpits of their planes shortly after takeoff. They stabbed and killed the pilots and co-pilots and took control of the planes. The hijackers of United Airlines Flight 93 also forced their way into the cockpit, but they were met with resistance from the passengers and crew. The passengers fought back and eventually forced the hijackers to crash the plane into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. According to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the speed of the plane that hit the South Tower of the World Trade Center was about 590 miles per hour at impact. The plane that hit the North Tower was traveling at about 494 miles per hour. These speeds are based on radar data and eyewitness accounts. The planes were flying at a much lower altitude than their normal cruising altitude, which is about 33,000 feet. This is because the hijackers wanted to hit the towers as close to the ground as possible. The lower altitude also caused the planes to be traveling faster than they would have been at cruising altitude. The exact temperature is still unknown when the planes hit the towers. However, some experts have estimated that the temperature could have reached up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is based on the known temperatures of jet fuel fires and the amount of fuel that was estimated to have been ignited in the attacks. The high temperatures would have caused the steel beams in the towers to weaken and eventually buckle. This is what caused the towers to collapse. Amidst growing fear, 4 passenger jet planes in the United States were hijacked and used to carry out attacks on 2 iconic skyscrapers in New York City. The first plane struck the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. local time in the eastern region of the country. Shortly thereafter, the second plane was tragically crashed into the South Tower at 9:03 a.m. Fires broke out in both buildings. People were trapped on the upper floors of both towers. A massive plume of smoke billowed into the city's sky. Both towers had 110 floors. Within just 2 hours, both buildings collapsed into a massive cloud of dust and debris, raining down on the ground. The third plane targeted the Pentagon, the large headquarters of the Department of Defense, in the western part of Washington, D.C., at 9:37 a.m. local time. By 10:03 a.m., the fourth plane crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. The passengers on the fourth plane had fought against the hijackers, leading to the plane's crash. It is believed that the hijackers had intended to target the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The 9/11 attacks left 2,977 dead across New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania, according to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. That total includes the 2,753 who died after the planes struck the Twin Towers, 184 people at the Pentagon, and 40 people who died when Flight 93 crash-landed in Pennsylvania. The youngest flight passenger who died was Christine Hansen, a 2-year-old on her way to Disneyland with her parents. The oldest was Robert Norton, who was 82. About 75 to 80% of the victims were men. The 19 hijackers from the militant Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda also died. According to the World Trade Center Health Program, over 71,000 individuals have been diagnosed with physical and mental health conditions brought on by exposure to the dust, smoke, debris, and trauma of the 9/11 attacks. When the first plane struck the World Trade Center, an estimated 17,400 people were inside the building. In the portion of the North Tower where the plane hit, no one survived from the floors above. However, in the South Tower, where the plane struck, 18 people managed to escape from the upper floors. Among the casualties, there were individuals from 77 different countries. In New York City, those who responded to the emergency at the scene, 441 people lost their lives. The cleanup of the 1.8 million tons of debris was a massive undertaking that required 3.1 million hours of work. The arduous task was ultimately completed on May 30, 2002. Firefighters dedicated 100 days to extinguishing all the fires in the vicinity of Ground Zero. More than 100 search and rescue dogs played a crucial role in locating survivors amidst the rubble of the collapsed towers. That attack has changed the entire world. It has altered the global perception of political and military security. In response to that attack, the United States engaged itself in one of the longest wars in history. Blaming Al-Qaeda for the attack, the leader of the group, Osama bin Laden, orchestrates the assault from his hideout in Afghanistan. The Taliban regime, which was allied with bin Laden, is subsequently ousted of power. A museum and a memorial have now been built at that site. The buildings have been reconstructed, but with different designs. Freedom Tower has been constructed there as the centerpiece, which is taller than the previous North Tower. The North Tower had a height of 1,368 feet, while the new Freedom Tower stands at 1,776 feet. The reconstruction of the Pentagon took slightly less than a year. By August 2002, Pentagon employees returned to their workplace. Thanks for watching.